I just want to text her real quick. How does it look like that?
Peace, family. What's going on? This is your host, Brother Ben Ra, here at Keeping It 100. Thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I'm thanking everybody because I've been talking to you guys about this for the longest time, trying to get everybody to tune in and make sure that we're here on the live stream with me. I've been doing some audio for a little time, and now I'm doing the streaming. So please make sure you tune in to Channel 13 here on Facebook to catch all of the live streams that take place with Keeping It 100. You know, I thank everybody for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. So you can catch us here live. I'm still going to do the audio. I didn't forget about the audio streams, but if you want to see us live streaming, make sure you tune in here to Channel 13. So this way we can see each other live, and you can see me in real time doing my thing. Okay. I want to thank everybody once again for coming through. I'm your host, Brother Ben Ra, and this is my co-host and guest, and her name is Joy Cook. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you definitely so much for tuning in to the new Channel 13, which is an awesome platform for up and coming podcasters, seasoned podcasters like ourselves as well. So thank everyone for tuning in. That's on Facebook, or however you can see this through your phone, your tablet, your computer. Thank everyone. Of course, yesterday was Thanksgiving, so everyone's still in the Thanksgiving type and giving spirit.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Joy Cook has an organization. The name of her organization is called Support Her Boots. Now, her organization supports veterans and their families, specifically targeting female veterans. Okay, so we're going to get into what Joy's organization is all about. And but first, before we get started, we're going to talk about Joy Cook. Who is Joy Cook? Right?
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Joy Cook. Yes. In a concise manner, everyone knows me as being a veteran, which I am. So there's no question about that. Prior Army, currently Air Force, recently just graduated as of Wednesday, 27 November.
Yes.
From Joint Culinary Training Academy in Fort Lee, Virginia. That is home of Army, Air Force, Navy, and Marine Joint Culinary Operations. So just came back from there, just graduated.
Right.
Of course, like I said, prior Army. So I've been doing military since 1998 on and off.
Yes.
Even before then, when it was just ROTC and JROTC. But
yes,
definitely been doing it since about 8th grade, as far as the whole military lifestyle and the whole military structure and everything. So.
Correct.
When it comes to organizations, it's definitely a passion. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely a passion in supporting veterans, and especially the female veterans, right. All branches, all eras. That's who we support. That's who we help. Of course, again, we can help any veteran.
Yes.
And then also we do things that are community based. Right. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Right.
But everything that has to do with veterans, mm-hmm. That's a big scale. That's a big blanket. And a lot of times civilians like to put us in boxes, especially when they're unaware of that lifestyle. It's something maybe they just heard about, but they have never lived that, so they don't really truly know what it's all about.
Right. Well, tell us how you grew up. Like, let's just kind of like start from the beginning. You know, school you went to, type of family you grew up in, you know, the environment. What were some of the motivators that got you going in the direction of becoming a military person?
Military child, aka Army brat. My dad was a Marine officer, right. So I was born in Savannah, Georgia, at Hunter Army Airfield.
Gotcha.
But there we went from Beaufort, South Carolina, which is Paris Island, California. My dad was in Okinawa.
Right.
I remember the most, of course, Hawaii, where I went to school at and things like that. So, but then we came back to this place here called North Carolina. So went to Northeast Middle School, Guernsey High School. So pretty much, and then I went to St. Augustine's College, St. Augustine's University now in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, but as far as the military, I mean, even before I even knew what that really was, it was always, military was there. My family is pretty much 85% military, going back into, and our family represents every branch. So there's someone from every branch in my family, even a very historical, my uncle, Donnie Cochran, who came for the event on last year, who was the first African-American commander of the historic Blue Angels. So there's a lot of first in our family, but definitely a lot of military, heavy military presence for both males and females. My Aunt Sharon went to Desert Storm. I think I was in middle school when she went, but I remember her going to Desert Storm. So it's just always been there.
So have you, once you began to see that a lot of people in your family were military members, did you kind of develop an attraction, to want to see what it was about? Or, like when you mentioned your dad, knowing that your dad was a military member, did that kind of bring you into it as well? You were traveling with him, right? Going to different bases and whatnot, right?
Well, when you're kids, you just know that you're moving. You don't even know why or what's happening. You just know that you're moving. Right. But as far as when I began to kind of like understand it, I saw it, I heard about it, seen movies, seen books. But I would say more around 8th grade when they used to have JROTC in middle school.
Right.
Which is something I think they should bring back to middle school. But when they used to have it in middle school, is when, wore the uniform, learned about rank structure, learned about dress and cover, learned about, which I've seen it, but you don't know about it until you actually get into it for yourself, and understand it. So I did it all through middle school. I did it all through high school. I did it all through college. So, I mean, to me, it just, having a uniform, that's like the left arm. That's always there. That's always been a constant. So. Well,
yeah. I know when I was coming up, I mean, I did a little bit of cadets, nothing major. Me, that just wasn't for me. I was more of a sports guy, always into football, boxing and just running around crazy, and I enjoyed that. I'm more of like an athletic person. I do the gym thing and all of that. So, and I know my dad, he was in the military. My grandfather, he also was in the military. My grandfather was in, Red Ball Express and whatnot. So, I know at one point when I expressed interest in going into the military, he basically told me he didn't want me to do that based on his experience of being in the military. He experienced real bloodshed, so it was, he just didn't want me to go. But if I would have known, like now some of the things have changed, compared to when he went. So I kind of wish I would have taken that step though at some point. You know what I mean? So, whatever. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the history, pretty much of the military. Everybody has their stories, they call them war stories, but everybody has, the different eras. And as the more and more it keeps changing, it keeps evolving, everybody has, everything changes, the uniform. Yes. There's a whole history, behind the military. So.
Gotcha. So when you first joined the military, when you first got in, tell us about that whole experience. How did you feel being a member of the military, first time, rookie, tell us how that experience went for you.
That was, I mean, I sound older now, I guess, saying that, but that was a long time ago. I started at 18, fresh out of Guernsey. high school. Had an awesome recruiter who I keep in touch with now, Sergeant Peel.
Shout out to you, bro.
Sergeant Nicole Peel, who's my first female veteran that I had as a recruiter, first African American female veteran.
Gotcha,
She came to our school, as most recruiters do. They come to high schools and they look for the juniors and the seniors and talk to them, let them tell them what it's all about. So once I told her my background, and she was like, oh, let's sign up, let's go. And it's very different. The movies you see, the books you read.
Yeah, it's real different.
It can prepare you.
The military,
it can prepare you, but it's nothing like the bus ride for yourself. So,
gotcha.
To where you experience it, and it's you go, oh, this is what they meant.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Well, give us some of the experiences that you've had being in the military. What were some of your, give us some of your positive experiences, and then give us some of what you would consider be some of your most challenging experiences. You can start with the positive first.
I entered in 1998 with the Fort Jackson. Most everybody knows what that is. Victory starts here. Went through basic training, then went to.
Was that a positive experience for you? The whole basic training, or was it a little tough?
It was interesting.
Okay.
Because again, it's nothing like you doing it for yourself. It's nothing like you on that bus trip, you having the bags, you getting screamed at, you doing the push-ups, you in uniform, you PT first thing in the morning. So,
for those who are watching that may be thinking about joining the military, give us a little bit of an understanding of what PT is for those who may not know.
So that's the physical training, and that's. Most of the time, once that's kind of in you and it's bred in you, it stays with you because there's people who have retired and they're still going to do PT because you've done it for so long. It's on the schedule. It's structured. It's going to happen most of the time.
PT is exercise. Is that
right?
Exercise?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all branches have their different forms of doing it, but some way somehow you're going to end up doing that because that's just a part of the schedule. It's just part of it.
Now, what are some of the exercises that you do? Is it anything tough like squatting 300 pounds or things of that nature? Or is it more like basic exercises like push-ups, sit-ups, things of that nature?
It's pretty much basic exercise, your cardio, your calisthenics, your stretches, things like that, but it's all to prepare you for the PT test, and all the branches have different names for it. The AFPT, the Army PT test, I believe the Marines have a different name for it, but it's all a PT test. So whether you're doing a push-up, sit-up, 2-mile run, 1.5-mile run, pull-ups, which Marines do as well.
Right.
So I mean, it's constant physical conditioning, and ever since even I did it even for college. So I mean, it's always on the schedule. It's a formation. The Navy Marines call them muster. So it's a PT formation that you gather in. Mega early in the morning time, usually between, as they say, 0 dark 30, 4:30. By 6, you're done. Like they used to tell us, by 11 o'clock, or by 12 o'clock, we've done most people do all day long because you've already had breakfast, you've already had PT, you've already made a bed, you've already, you've done 15 things, and it's not even 11 o'clock in the morning yet.
Gotcha.
So, but PT is always there though. That's just. Most people know the military as, you run, you do sit-ups, you push-ups, you do this, you that, and it's. Some to do it for the test because, of course, everybody has a test. There's a standards. There's, so everybody has to, or it's required that you pass your PT test.
Gotcha. Now, what does it take to pass a PT test? Do you have to do 100 sit-ups? Do you have to do 200 push-ups? Do you have to do Herschel Walker sit-ups like 1,000? How does it work when you are taking a PT test and you need to pass the test?
All branches have a different scale.
Okay.
So it depends on your age and depends on your gender. So those are the two things because they're standards. So you have you have a minimum standard, you have a maximum standard, and that's usually how there's scoring in it. So for a certain amount of push-ups, you get a certain amount of score. For a certain amount of sit-ups, you get a certain amount of score. For your run time, you get a certain amount of score. Now the key, of course, is to beat the maximum required, or at least do the minimum required that you need in order to pass according to your age category, and again according to your gender. Because if you're 19, it's going to be different. If you're 36, it's going to be different. Your run time, your minimum on your push-ups, your minimum on your sit-ups, your minimum run. So it all depends on what category you fall in, and everybody pretty much knows, here's what I need to do to pass, here's what I need to do to totally exceed and get the PT patch, because I super excelled and super, exceeded.
They make you aware of it, what you got to do.
You will know that.
Right.
you will study and know that.
Right. Well, give me some of your accomplishments, being in the military, especially kind of like in the early parts of your experience being there. Some of your major accomplishments that you remember that kind of stand out.
Passing basic training.
Okay.
Start there. Of course, every school is designed for you to grow and excel. So, you have basic training. The Army calls it AIT. Like I said, I just graduated not a day ago, 2 days ago, from what the Air Force calls tech school. So every branch has a name for it. And the Navy calls it the A school, things like that. But I mean, of course, the biggest thing is, getting the ribbon, getting the certificates, and knowing that you have major rank, so that you can move on, to the next level. So, those are, of course, because that world is designed and pushes you to excel.
To excel and to grow. Right. Got you. Now, what are some of the jobs, so to speak, that are available in, certain branches? Like, you could talk about your branch, and if you know of any others, what are some of the jobs that could be required for you to do once you reach a certain rank or a certain level, during your experience? Or does it really go by what you're going for? If you want engineering, they put you in, in engineering, things of that nature. It starts with
the ASVAB. So anyone who's interested in going military, that's the first step.
Yes.
You have to take the ASVAB test, and that's a battery of tests, and that will give you your score, and then that will usually place you into what you can even do.
Right.
So, your score is high. You say, hey, I want to be an engineer, or I want to be a nurse, or I want to be a nuclear engineer. I want to be, things like that. That's usually based upon your score. And then your recruiter is the one that breaks that down and says, okay, you scored this, it's your GT score. You scored in this, you scored in that. Right. And so, look into this. Or have you thought about security forces? Or have you thought about food service? Or have you thought of, and it kind of like, because once you get on that path, then that's usually the first step to going in that direction. You can always cross-train. You can always get into another career field. But starting out, most of the time, you start out with one, and that's based upon your score.
Right.
Because a lot of times that changes. People want to come in there and be a rocket scientist, but it depends on your scores of where you're going to be able to go. The fields that you really want to go into. And then your path is kind of, from there, everything else is based upon time and grades, common service when it comes to getting promoted and your skill level and things like that. So.
Now, when we watch certain movies, Major Pain, and all these crazy movies, giving you kind of like an example of what the military is like. I mean, is it that way? Are there people screaming in your face and calling you all kind of names, make you get on your knees, cleaning the floor with a toothbrush, and then you got to do 1,000 push-ups because they said so? How is it really that way, or is it a whole different experience? And again, I'm talking to those who may be thinking about joining the military, and they're watching this program and listening to you talk about, different experiences there.
I would say it's not like it used to be.
Okay.
But there is kind of a level there.
Right.
Some things are considered like hazing now, so they can't really say and do certain things anymore.
Right.
Like they used to do in the 80s or 70s or things like that.
Right.
But the discipline is definitely there. Is there. Now the Air Force has this thing called 341 when you go through tech school. So I mean, it's there. So it keeps changing. Before I don't know what 341 was because we never had that. But the discipline is there. However they restructure it, however they keep changing it, it's not the yellow screaming, I got to make you feel, this big anymore, But so it's different things. It could be the 341 that the Air Force has, or it could be, and in certain branches, like the Marines, who some of that stuff hasn't gone away. I mean, it might have decreased, but every branch has their every branch has their level of discipline, however they want to do it. So, and there's actually an event Yeah, that's going to be coming up in February. I'll talk about later on.
Yeah.
Well,
I
can actually meet different recruiters and things like that.
I know my pops, he used to talk about that type of treatment, with the yelling in the face and the...
See, that's a different era.
You need to do that now, and, all of that craziness. But I heard that you could be punished for that, man. Like, in other words, if you laugh or talk back in a certain kind of way, that could have been a bad experience for you as a soldier.
It was going to be a very bad experience for everybody next to you, including you. It would be very bad. Yeah. I definitely remember some of those experiences of, it's a team concept. Right. So when one person messes up, everybody will now pay.
Everybody pays the price.
So I definitely remember those instances where all it takes is one person. That's it.
I used to talk to my grandpops a lot. God bless him. He used to tell me a lot about his experience, and one of the things he talked about was the taking of lives, because with him being in the Red Ball Express, he witnessed that, and he had to take lives, and he also watched the lives of his fellow colleagues being taken as well. And one of the things he mentioned to me, when I told him, he said, it's a different, you've never seen that type of stuff before, and I don't want you to experience that, and he made it clear to me, I'd never want you to join the military, and I never forget it. Like, he looked me dead in my eyes, because I asked him about it, and I said, I may want to join, and he, but again, what I've noticed over time, not to say that that doesn't exist anymore, but what I think I see more now is the military pushing more for the education. You get a chance to learn different skills or increase your skills, and you move up in rank. And as you move up in rank, your income moves up as well, and you can make a really decent living, out of being a military member. And there are different things that you can do.
Who have retired.
Right.
Ask anybody that's retired, and they'll tell you, know. So, of course, that's definitely still there. We still have wars. We still got conflicts. So that hasn't, unfortunately, that's not
it didn't go away.
Going to go anywhere, Right. But it's definitely for those who may say, hey, I don't want to go to college, which is an event that's going to be coming up later on this year. Military is definitely, a way to go, because it does provide skills. It does provide foundations. It does provide benefits. It does provide, everything that is designed to prepare for it. You just have to pretty much stay the course and kind of stay in it. Now, of course, it's a whole bunch of reasons why people end up not being in it. Could be medical discharge. Could be, it's a whole list of stuff as a reason why you might not necessarily stay and do 20 years and retire and things like that. But for anybody young, I would say at least start the foundation. You might not do 20 years, and everybody says that. I'm not going to do 20 years. That sounds like it's such a long time, which it is. But when they're 17, 18, 19, 20, things like that, you putting in 3-4 years, or just do 6, but that 6 pays off 10, 20 years from now, when you can get certain kind of benefits, because
I was just about
you did this back when you was 19, and now you're 49, and now you can say, oh yeah, I forgot I do have a VA loan, or yeah, I do have this,
talk about
things
some
like
of
that.
about some of the benefits of being a military member. Can you get into that for me?
Like I said, there's a whole lot. Of course, there's the pay. Of course, there's education. The VA loan, things like that. Just that community, that world is a different planet. Unless you've been in that planet, it's just a different planet, and it can't be compared to civilian lifestyle. They can try to match it, but it's already been proven that the things that the military has, you come out. That's why there's all these transitional programs and organizations and all kind of stuff, because everybody is pretty much trying to help you to kind of sort of be as if you were still in, but it's very hard to match that. And that's on every level, whether it's money, benefits, the network, the community, the resources, the chain of command, everything that was in that world. You're trying to match just as close as you can, because in the civilian world, it's just not there. You know, it can kind of sort of be there.
Right.
It can look like it, but it's not really there because, you know, it's hard to match those two worlds. So again, that's why, you know, organizations like, you know, myself and so many organizations that I know of that are trying to go, how can we help? Because once you come out that world and you totally exit that world, most of the time, the blanket you had, the net you had, the everything, it just drops. And it drops so quick that, you know, you have to adjust. You have to, as you're saying, retransition back to civilian lifestyle. You have to go through that, not only financially, but, you know, mentally. And, you know, there's no more wake up PT with 60-something people. There's no more, you know, certain things that just, it's not there anymore. You know, and you could try to create it. You try to recreate it. You could try to, you know, kind of get it back. But that initial, you know, like, you know, I've been gone almost 30-something days. So, and today I didn't wake up and see my friend to my left and my friend to the right. And there's just, it's just gone.
Make that adjustment.
You know, that's it. It's just gone. You know, I may never see them again. You know, we took a picture together. You know, we was a team for 40-something days, but
then after that,
tomorrow, that's it. You know,
right.
But, you know, I've been accustomed to waking up, seeing them in class together. We eating, went to dining hall together. Things like that, you know. We also I trained behind the Navy for the last 40-something days, so we got to see them in muster and formation. And we're in formation, they're in muster. They call it muster. But again, once certain things are gone, it drops. And a lot of times you don't get that. Oh, let me adjust real quick. Okay, let me get back to this schedule. Let me, you know. So that's why there's a lot of organizations that are designed to realign you, try to readjust you, try to, you know, things like. You know, I don't need to put my uniform on today. I've been putting it on for 40-something days, but oh yeah, that's right. I could put on regular clothes today. You know, just simple things like that. You have to get readjusted to. Okay, now I need to put on my business clothes instead of my boots and my top, and that's it. You know,
you just got to make. It sounds like you're saying you just basically once you step out of that, you got to know how to make the transition. You know, back out of it. Like I was talking to my friend John Bay Moore. What's happening? Talking to John Bay. And, you know, with him being in the Navy for 21 years and then stepping out of it, you know, he talked about, you know, it being a difficult transition. You know, he said he still wakes up every day, you know, at the same time that he did when he was in the Navy. You know, as an active member. Now that he's retired, he's still waking up at the same time.
See, that never left.
And still trying to make the transition out of, you know, that mindset into the civilian mindset now. You know, so it's definitely a conditioning that takes place. You know,
like I said, and that's on every level. Especially, you know, mentally, definitely, financially, definitely, you know, emotionally. Like I said, that we're a team. I come out, hey, so and so, and then the next day, is poof, you don't have a platoon, you don't have a squad, you don't have a wingman, you don't have that anymore. You know, the terminology is gone. When you start talking to people, you got to go, okay, I can't explain it like this. I got to say it like that because you're not going to understand what I'm saying. So, I mean, you got to transition in every, like, you know, part and stuff like that. You know, that's why, you know, again, only people in that planet can identify. And then that's why a lot of times, you know, when you see a veteran, you can click and it's almost like an instant, okay, now I can say certain words and acronyms and they're going to get it, you know, versus when you're talking that and you're saying that in a group of people who've never heard it before, they're, I got to switch my language now because they're not going to understand, you know, certain things. They're not going to understand, you know, why am I turning a corner this way? You know, they're not, certain things are going to looks foreign because only somebody in that world knows that language.
Able to connect,
you know?
Now, we talked about, well, first, let me ask you this. For those, again, who are watching that may be thinking about this military lifestyle, what is a VA loan? For those that may not know, you know, we talked about a little bit of the benefits. Just give a brief, you know, explanation on what a VA loan is.
That's pretty much assistance that will help you to get a house. It's usually 100%, you know, guaranteed, closing costs, down payment, things like that. But the piece to that is that you need to have a credit score. You can't have a VA loan and have a, you know, 150 credit score. The credit score has to make sense, you know, to the VA loan too. And again, that's another one of those kind of myths that people think, oh, you got a VA loan.
Right.
Doesn't mean you just sitting around somewhere with a stack of money. You actually have to apply for it, get a certificate of eligibility for it that says I'm eligible.
Right.
Then I can apply it. Then my credit score has to look like something, things like that. But I mean, it's definitely, one of the many benefits, especially for those who are active, to get a first time, home. And they know that's, the banks know that's 100%, guaranteed. So
now, also tell us about the healthcare benefit of being a military member. Is it different from being in the reserves as far as your health benefits, or is it pretty much the same whether you're in the reserves or whether you're in active duty? How does that work?
TRICARE is I think it used to be called Campus, I think, but TRICARE is pretty much the preferred. Some are TRICARE, I think some are Humana, but most people are on TRICARE though.
Okay.
Especially for active. And there is a TRICARE for reserve plan. There's a TRICARE for guard. But TRICARE is military insurance, and that covers everything from having a baby to breaking your arm. So again, that's that benefit of being in that world.
Right.
Things like that TRICARE is definitely what you need, and it's across all branches, even once you retire. So I mean, it's different scales according to your component. So whether you're reserve, National Guard, or active, and it's also benefits based upon your status too. So if I'm active or if I'm recently retired, things like that. So all the benefits usually are broken down within what is your branch. What is your component, and then what is your status? If you're a spouse, you have a different status. If you're just a single person, you have a different maybe benefit category. So most of the benefits are based around some basic criteria that you usually have to meet, and then they'll tell you, hey, here's what you qualify for.
Right. Got you. So another question. With you being a woman of color in the military, what are some of the experiences that you may have gone through? Has it always been all positive, or have you seen some of the differences that could take place as far as treatment, from other superiors?
I don't think I've had a couple of instances. I've known some people who have terrible stories. They're it's terrible. It's what even to the point of what they call now MST survivors, military sexual trauma. It's so there. I mean, there's some people who have some terrible horror stories.
Yes.
When it comes to people they've served with and commanders, and the list can go on and on. But for me, my experience hasn't gone that deep. It hasn't gone into that lane and things like that.
Gotcha.
I think that the treatment can definitely be different, when it comes to who you're, who you answer to, whether it's a male, black or white difference, whether it's a female, black or white difference. The instructors, like I just had, they were great. We had a mixture, just kind of like as an example, I had a black female instructor, had a white male instructor, but both of them together were great.
Because there's some people who will argue you down and say, well, no, there's no racism in the military. There's no this or that in the military, but it does exist.
I mean, again, see, everybody's path and story is so different. For some people, they don't. It can honestly say, I don't. That's not part of my story. My story, it's just people who wasn't the greatest to work with, but it wasn't as deep as sexual assault and rape and this and that. And, now to the point where they have what they call SARC, sexual assault counselors. And,
because if you remember, not that long
before
ago,
that wasn't there. It wasn't, you didn't have a SARC, you didn't have a sapper training we had to go to. You didn't have all this stuff that they had to go through, but because that was such a heavy thing in the military, they felt like we have to literally create positions for people to talk to us. Green dot training is what we go through, and the green dot training is it basically understanding sexual assault, sexual harassment, how to report it, who to report it to, what's the whole chain when you report something, all the steps when it comes to that. They make sure they front stuff that in basic training. I think they even add an extra week to basic training just for that. Like when I went to training, I don't think they had that. I mean, they mentioned it, but it wasn't as much. Like now, they heavily mention it. You know, it's an app for it. You know, it's it's really heavy so that everybody knows and understands, no matter what your branch is, no matter what your component is. You know, professionalism at all times. You know, no fraternization between ranks. All kind of stuff, you know. The training I was just in Virginia, they had posters everywhere. You know, no fraternization. You know, keep everything professional. Keep everything, you know, things like that. Just so that it's a constant reminder. Like you can't.
Supposedly, that's something they don't really tolerate.
Right. There's a zero tolerance for that. I mean, that's probably the worst thing you can do at this point. You know, everything else, you might. You know, you can get counseled for, but when it comes to certain things on them kind of levels, it's like that's it. There's zero tolerance for that kind of stuff because that, of course, makes the individual look bad. It makes the branch look bad. I mean, it has a snowball effect. So it's definitely heavily foot stomped about a zero tolerance when it comes to anything sexual, anything fraternization, anything harassment. You know, comments, joking comments, what they consider to be joking comments. You know, how to report it, how the steps to report it. Of course, like the instructors and things like that. You know, making sure they maintain a professional, you know, a relationship. Even recruiters, you know, certain things like, for instance, when I just left Virginia, I was a TDY. We can't have students in our cars, you know, because we're a TDY and they're a student. So I mean, just to make sure there's no conflict of any kind. There's no, you know, favors, money. I gave you $1 to go to the vending machine. I mean, there's nothing to where it could be perceived or it could be somebody could look at it from the outside and go, that was a favor of some sort that might lead to something that might connect. You know, like there should be like no dots that anybody can connect.
Well, just for the public. So these are the rules that are in place. However, we do know that sometimes people do step over those boundaries, and apparently, you know, once you're caught doing that, you know, that's a bad position for you.
Yeah, that's definitely there
in most cases.
Yeah. I would say in a lot of cases that's that's not you know that's again it's zero tolerance. So that's everywhere, and that's training that we have to go through every year. So just in case you might have forgot last year, you go through Marine Diet training every year. It's an annual training that you have to do. So.
Right, gotcha. Now, let's talk a little bit about PTSD. You know, I know my grandfather, you know, from going through some of the experiences that he went through, you know, he, you know, experienced, you know, some issues, especially, you know, dealing with alcohol and things of that nature, which you see a lot of men who have been military vets, you know, a lot of them come out. Sometimes they got the issue with the alcohol and things of that nature. How does that why does that continuously happen? Like, you know, is the stress level that high to the point where you go through those type of experiences where, you know, you come home, you know, you're going through these issues of drinking and things of that nature? Or could it be pretty hard for people to transition from being in that world because it's kind of like a programming, and then when you come back home, it may be hard for you to transition from that? Do they literally bring the job home with them, you know, in a way? Some
do. You know, I mean, I won't say I'm an expert when it comes to PTSD.
I got you. Yep.
Or pretty much anything as far as people, you know, their response, their reaction to things. Everybody has their own way of dealing, but they definitely support whatever your method of stress relief is. The same way they foot stomp about, you know, zero tolerance for sexual harassment. The military definitely talks about, you know, ways to relieve stress, whether it's, you know, your spiritual fitness, whether it's you want to exercise, take a walk, whatever your thing may be. Of course, they don't encourage you to do drugs and drinking and things like that. Of course not. You know, but there's a holistic, I guess you can kind of say holistic way that they at least give you an option, whatever your stress reliever is, to find that, whatever it may be, you know, scriptures, reading a book, go run with a buddy.
Plus, they offer programs for those who maybe.
Yeah, there's gyms, there's yoga, there's karate, counseling, martial arts. Of course, there's DPH because counselors, there's psychologists, there's a whole list of stuff that's out there. that's available to you. And in that world, those things are free. Unlike this world, so going to a psychologist, going to a marriage counselor, going to yoga today, going to, just the chapel, to see the chaplain, all that stuff is available. All of it's there. All of it's 100% free, especially for active duty. Even on guard and reserve basis, that's available. That's there. So there's no barrier, at least financially, that can hold you back from getting the assistance, that you need. There's, and they're available at different events. There's Yellow Ribbon that's available as well. Before you go on a deployment, there's a pre-Yellow Ribbon event. There's a post-Yellow Ribbon event that you go to when you come back. And Yellow Ribbon is designed very similar to the events, that I do as well. It's designed to have the resources there, counselors if you need them, financial, all that kind of great things. So, everybody, again, has their own way of dealing with stressors. That's, the military, just kind of in the same category as, police, fire, and medic. Like that whole category of high stress, high level, high everything, there's, you got to have a way to kind of process that some kind of way. And the most positive, preferably the most positive way matter. Of course, we've heard the stories about the domestic violence and the rape and the suicide, especially suicide. That stuff is high. Because, or I can't say because, one of the reasons why it can be high is that for some, they may feel like this is my only route. I don't do the spiritual thing, maybe. I don't do the running. I don't do the yoga. I'm not sitting down talking to nobody. I'm just so stressed out, I need to go the route of suicide. Or I'm so stressed out, I need to go the route of the bottle or the pills or the, the whatever, it may be.
Especially, especially too when they've gone through certain types of experiences, like maybe real live warfare.
And again, everybody is everybody experiences
that can be very traumatic.
Everybody's experience, is different. So they usually, and you don't have to go to combat just to say you have PTSD. Going over there, that's kind of going to be there, but that can happen in the city that we live in. you don't need to go to Iraq to get PTSD all of a sudden. You know what I mean? You can experience that just based upon our city where we currently live at, which is why it's important for organizations and, whatever you do to relieve stress, whether it's spiritual fitness, whether it's physical fitness, whether it's whatever it is, to find that kind of outlet, because there's so many things that are in that category of PTSD. Of course, most people associate it with the military, but that goes for firefighters, a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, an attorney. There's so many jobs in that category of PTSD. So
now, let's talk about your events. Let's go here. When did you start to gain an interest in doing events? Because, for some that could be pretty challenging. So when did you begin to have this attraction for beginning, event planning? Tell us a little about that.
Actually, I think that came more from I would say more from just kind of growing around it, being around it. I've seen all kind of events planned, weddings and birthday parties and showers and all kind of stuff. Helped my mom before, helped my aunt before.
Yes.
So, but of course, helping is, when you help an event, is different.
Right.
When you plan the event, you're the planner, you're the director, that's the whole different seat that to sit in versus just I'm just helping out. Somebody put some plates and forks out. It's a little bit different. So, but from where my kind of idea of coming up with doing events as far as my organization goes, that came from like the very first one. And the very first one kind of started out, it really wasn't supposed to be an event. It just ended up morphing itself kind of to an event. And that was with the guidance of Miss Nadine Henry, who I would say is one of like our legacy sponsors. She was the first one, that came to the first event and kind of as a planner to say, well, let's plan this out. Let's not just make this just a one-time thing and that's it, we're done. But kind of what can we add? How can we grow into it? To the point where this year we're at the 7th annual. which is that sounds crazy, the 7th annual, because I remember when I was just like 3rd annual, so now we're at like 7, that's coming up for 2020. So it's definitely, it's a challenge every year, but of course, with having a tight team, with having a committed team, with having a team with ideas, with initiative, with it's just everybody brings something valuable to the table that you can work with to say, okay, here's our goals, here's what's going on, and we can make it happen. So we do events not only that support veterans and their families, but for the community at large.
Right. So now, support her boots. Tell me, well, first of all, it wasn't called Support Her Boots in the beginning. What was it called in the beginning?
The very first name that it was called from years 1 through 4.5, I think 5, was A Hero's Ball.
Hero's Ball.
And that...
What motivated you to set up this organization to help support veterans and their families? Was it your past experiences of, being in the military and just trying to walk in your father's footsteps, or you actually saw a need to help certain people, which maybe you felt other organizations were lacking, as far as helping those people? That particular population.
I would kind of say a combination, maybe, of all those. My dad was a social worker. He worked for Union County DSS, Mecklenburg County DSS, Children's Home Society. My mom was an educator, retired teacher now.
Yes.
So the social service and the education pieces of it have always kind of been there. So doing the event is just kind of, I guess, an extension or a bigger blown up version of what I've already seen, trying to have different elements and components, in there. And also, like you said, for that, I don't feel, especially for female veterans, we're kind of a very underserved population. When you think veteran, people think male. They probably think white male first, maybe black male, but most of the time they think male. Right. They hardly ever think female. Right. Even this past Veterans Day, everybody had these pictures up, things and that. For most of the people that people saw and identified with, thank you for your service. They, their brother saying that, they think about the male. Right. They never, hardly ever focus the attention on the female. Did the female go through combat? Did the female, what's that experience like when you're deployed, and or if you go through a divorce, or you go through, your man having an affair when you was gone, or child support. I mean, all kind of different issues that are still wrapped up, and then trying to be, feminine and a woman and things like that. Yes. But you got the uniform on, you got this and this and that on, and things like that. So I think, as far as for female veterans and stuff, that's a group that's just, it's getting more and more attention, but I don't think it has gotten enough attention, especially when it comes to assistance, because a lot of times, again, that assumption is there from, well, hey, you got the VA, don't you? Or, hey, don't you? It's like everybody thinks the VA is a savior, until they've actually dealt with the VA before, or until they understand there's boxes, there's structures, there's certain things that you can and you cannot get and you won't get. Right. Dealing with that, kind of a system. So the idea of, having the events, things like that, so that here's a place that things are provided for you, and it's not just something that I heard about. This is stuff I'm actually doing myself. You know. So
well, tell us some of the assistance that you have provided for certain individuals.
Our organization has provided tangible assistance, and that comes in the forms of everything from helping with light bills to clothes to food to a lot of times, depending on our funding, and everything is based on funding, I should say that. So everything is based on funding. But clothes, shelter, transportation, how people get their car towed, putting them in hotels, actually doing our housing program that was assisted through a very nice suites. This place called Sonesta Suites. With housing, female veterans and things like that. Yes. So we do a wide range of things that are not just, it's kind of the outer box stuff. So kind of things that people don't think about. Of course, your personal hygiene items, that's what we're going to do this weekend, things like that. But just out of the box things, it's like I said, I had a veteran call me about, hey, I need to get my car towed. Right. But you can't call the VA and say, I need my car towed. they can't help you with that. They're not going to help you with that,
Right.
you know. So I try to have.
Now, you don't want a whole bunch of people calling you saying they need their car towed.
Right, because again, that's not everybody. Again, it's not everybody. This is just veterans. You know what I mean? But
right.
a lot, you know, is very few organizations. And a lot of veterans kind of may have a similar story.
Right.
That there's very few organizations that you can go to receive day of on the spot tangible. I need help with my issue today.
Gotcha.
You know, that it's not a bunch of runaround. It's not a bunch of transition. It's not a bunch of, you know, it's because when you're in transition, it can be mentally challenging. So you want to try to connect with organizations that can either say, yes, we can help you, okay, or no, we can't help you. And, you know, you're not running around all over the place, you know, with the same things going on.
Yes.
So, you know, we try to provide, you know, like I said, assistance for veterans, you know, when they need it. Of course, pending our funding, pending our resources, things like that. And then also for the community at large, which is what we're doing this weekend. This weekend event is a community at large event that targets everybody. So it has nothing to do with being a veteran or not. When we have, you know, our event, our homeless housing resource fair,
right.
That's what it targets.
Now,
so
I was going to slip right into that. Now, tell us a little bit tell us all about your homeless to housing resource fair, the date, when it's coming up, and what you guys are actually going to be doing at the resource fair. I know I'm going to be there.
Yes, tomorrow. So we're going to have the homeless to housing resource fair.
Right.
And it is going to be located at 3620 Rock Hill Road, but the church is in Concord, North Carolina.
Let them know.
So be sure you put in your GPS, please. Put in your GPS. 3620 Rock Hill Road,
yes.
Rock Hill AME Zion Church. And even though I've said Rock Hill twice, the church is located in Concord, North Carolina, and it's going to be held tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. A lot of great vendors. Of course, we welcome nonprofits, ministries, businesses, everyone who can help in, you know, healthcare, employment, housing, financial, mental health.
Yes.
Everything. Homeless to housing is about what causes one to be homeless.
Right.
Or resources for those who are homeless, those who are in transition, and even those who are trying to become or very close to being a homeowner.
Right.
Because, again, everybody falls somewhere on there. So the resources that are going to be there tomorrow are for those who are target one of those three categories. I'm homeless. I still need assistance. I still need resources. I'm in transition, so I'm actually homeless, but I'm kind of maybe going through some things, need some more assistance, you know, or, you know, I'm ready to purchase a home today. You know, what do I need to do? You know, what kind of realtor do I need to connect with? What kind of mortgage company do I need to connect with? You know, what are my loan options? You know, things like that. Also, for vendors, yes, vendor spaces are still available. They are free. However, you need to complete a vendor form so that you can have a table. Right. So if you plan on being a vendor, yes, there's still time. Yes, you can still give me a call.
Give out that phone number.
Please fill out the form. I
Give
can
out
be
that
reached.
phone number.
Now I can be reached at 704-380-7686. Right. But you definitely want to, I'm trying to avoid people coming to me tomorrow and saying I'm a vendor and they didn't fill out anything, you know. So if you want to be a vendor for tomorrow, definitely, yes, there's still time. If you still want to make a donation, whether it's, you know, a financial donation or towards your items, food, anything like that. We have plenty of clothes. Right. Plenty of clothes. We have plenty of clothes.
Lots of clothes.
But if you know, personal hygiene items, of course, from male and female, any financial donations, and of course, we have Cash App, we have PayPal, we have our website, you know, things like that. But tomorrow is definitely going to be, you know, an exciting day. We're, of course, we're fresh off the season of giving, Thanksgiving being yesterday and things like that. But of course, everyone, you know, has different stories. So, you know, somebody didn't have Thanksgiving dinner yesterday with their family, you know, because they're in transition, or they couldn't get the plane ticket home, or the bus ticket home, or the train ticket home, or their ride couldn't get them, or, you know, whatever reasons there may be. Tomorrow is a great event for you to connect with, talk to different resources, you know, have something to eat, hang out, fellowship with us. We have some awesome speakers are going to be there.
Yes.
Miss Layla is going to be talking about her event that's coming up in February 2020. You're going to also have Bliss Green. She's a realtor. She's awesome. She's going to be out there as well. We're going to have Miss Judith Brown. She's going to be out there as well. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a mini skit that's going to be by Miss Vicki Evans and her cast and crew called The Gift. They're going to be out there, so there's going to be a lot happening. So this is free to the public. You don't need a ticket. If you haven't gotten one by now through Eventbrite, don't worry about it. Just show up anyway tomorrow.
Yes, we got about maybe about 7 minutes.
Okay.
I want you to give out your email address.
Okay.
Also, give out your website. So if they want to make a donation or anything of that nature, they'll be able to reach you.
Okay, so my email address is ahb220org@gmail.com. So that's Alpha Hotel Bravo 220 Oscar Romeo Golf @gmail.com. ahb220org@gmail.com. Phone number 704-380-7686. Website www.ahbvets220.org. So ahbvets220.org. So I definitely look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow.
Yes.
4 p.m., 7 p.m. We may even be a little longer, so don't let the time kind of, hinder you from coming. But 4 p.m., if you're a vendor, thank you so much for being there at 3 p.m. to set up with your tables and things like that. Again, it's not too late. So if you're looking at this now and you're saying, oh, yeah, I meant to call you, I meant to text you. Yes, no, it's not too late for you to be a vendor. I'll send you the link tonight. You can fill it out, save your table. Yes. You're good. Thanks to those who are going to be there, tomorrow. We have, I know the 2020 census because she called me right before we came on.
Good.
So I know they're going to be there as far as employment. They're looking for all kind of positions as far as 2020 census coming up. So that's just one of the employers that that's going to be there.
And make sure that if you didn't remember anything she said, you can email 100podcasting@gmail.com. That is 100, the number 100 podcasting@gmail.com. Okay, and I'll be able to connect you with Joy Cook, and we'll see you in attendance. Okay. We got to run. This was a quick hour. All right. But I enjoyed, and I'm very thankful for being back. You're going to see more of us.
Yes.
We definitely got a lot of things in store. So tune in to us. You may see us again, maybe prior to the new year. If not, you'll see us after the new year.
So again, happy holidays, everyone. Be safe. Just be safe. Have a great holiday season.
Absolutely.
Spend time with your family. Give people a call, text message, email them, things like that.
Right.
Some people lost some people during this year. Already.
Right.
Already went to a couple of funerals already. So definitely be around your family. Be encouraged.
That's right. Be around your family.
Seeing everyone tomorrow.
Absolutely. Come tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you.
Concord, Peace. North Carolina. Thank
Jamir,
you for a great day.
John Bay Moore, Rihanna, Josiah. What's happening? This is Brother Ben Rob. We'll be back. Oh.
I wanted to say I didn't get to say anything about the expo, but that's all right, though. That's cool. We'll talk about the expo next time.
Yeah, next time. Well.
Mic check. Happy to be here.
Okay. All right, headphones.
Yes. Came prepared this time, Steve. You know what I'm saying? With my barrettes. This is what you gotta get used to. Is that okay?
I'm rethinking.
Huh?
I'm rethinking.
Oh, okay. All right. You know, bring all the fire. Fire.
Mic check 1 2. Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh yeah, nice.
Awesome.
Really good. Phone's on silent.
Okay. Make sure we're good. Are we transmitting?
Sounds really good.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Perfect. All right.
Hey.
Hey, folks, we're live coming from Square Media Network. As you can see, I'm still trying to get my shit together. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's just me. And so I'm trying to get it together, people. Help me out. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay, awesome. There we are.
Oh, we look
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So anyway, tonight, folks, is different. Of course, I'm coming to you from Square Media, not the project, not anything else. And I normally come to you from here when there's a show that we're going to announce, and tonight is no different. And I'm very, very happy to announce this new. Listen, this person, like she's not right in front of me. It's amazing, kind of amazing how she got here. Mm-hmm. There's the show. Beautiful people with Ohavia Phillips. Ohavia,
yes.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm amazing, Stephen. I just want to say thank you so much and talk about full circle, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm super, super grateful. Very grateful.
But let me tell everybody about the story.
Yes.
Now, back in February of this year, the network was brand new, spanking new. Mm-hmm. And someone told me about you, Trey McGriff.
Oh, that's who it was.
Trey, yeah.
Right.
And he said, reach out to her, man. I said, all right, no problem. So I did. Our text messages, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 sentences or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then that was it. It dropped off. I said, hey, she's busy. She's got her own show. She's big time, you know.
Oh, my goodness.
So, so I just let it go. So I just continued to do what I had to do with my network, and lo and behold, what was it? 2 weeks ago now?
About 2 weeks ago. Yep.
You were on somebody else's show.
I was
here in this network.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that you were coming, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That was funny. Yeah.
I'm like, no shit.
Yep.
I said, okay.
Facts.
But I don't think it did. It didn't hit you.
I'm gonna tell you, it hit me when I was in the car.
Okay.
I was like, wait, but like I couldn't pull it up because my phone. Remember, I told you it's set to factory mode. So I was like, I couldn't confirm.
I got you.
All of the greatness. Yeah.
I just want to read. Okay, good. Whew, Jesus, that would be messed up if there was no audio on your side.
Oh, no.
So anyway, the story, folks, is that we connected in February, and then basically reconnected in November.
Yep.
And here we are.
Here we are.
I knew then that I wanted you at least a part of the network.
Yeah.
Whatever that meant, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I think even early on, I was still thinking about a news division. You know, maybe you can help out with the news division, of which has not happened yet, and that's okay. But now, here you are.
Yeah.
We talked briefly, and I said, hey, let's make this thing happen.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
So listen, y'all, he sent me the text message and I dropped my phone.
This was after you left the show.
Yes, after I left the show conversation with Yolanda.
Right.
Dropped my phone. And I was like, that's insane. And then we had a phone conversation and then you brought up how you were like, do you remember at all? Like back in February, I was like, no, a lot was going on. I was at an old job.
Right.
It was just a lot. And so I actually told Steve, like on the phone, I was like, I feel like it's full circle. And what I had to do was just answer the call. And so here we are. But how do I feel? Excited, ready to work.
Yeah.
You know.
And listen, and I'll say this many, many times. But listen, we're not here to suppress anything. I'm here to, this whole thing was started so that I could make sure that people who come on a show, who have a show, can talk about whatever they want to talk about, however they want to talk about it. If you feel like cussing somebody out, then damn it, cuss them out.
I mean, what's up?
Sorry, Mom. But
my mom's here, y'all. Love her. That's my show.
are you a minister or something? No. Okay, just checking.
Mommy, y'all, mama said
That was quick. No.
Yeah, no.
So, but typically, podcasts are not. I'm sorry. Typically, podcasts are audio only.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about the idea that this is straight video? This is just like,
Yes.
I don't know, maybe a news station?
100%. So I think that's my favorite part about it is that they get to see all the facial expressions
Right.
that I add with the voice and with the cadence and with, the inflection and all that jazz. So it's like a total package. And my favorite part is what you offer here at Square Media is come in as yourself, be 100% authentic who you are, and bring that energy. And that's why it was like, it just made sense for me to say, it was a no-brainer, because it's like, I get to bring all of this. I won't think twice.
It's a lot. And I'll be honest with you. Listen, I'm just learning this. And
he is, y'all. Praise strength in the Lord.
I've seen some of it from afar.
Yes.
Far meaning like on Facebook. But this is it face to face.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm excited about it. I like what I see.
Yeah.
I think this is amazing.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited.
And plus this kind of coupled with your own show.
Yes.
I don't know how you're going to work that out. It's whatever you do, you do.
Yeah.
But I think it's amazing to have both.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's actually a conversation that we had with my mom. I'm so glad she's in the room because we really did. She was like, why not all of it? Like, it's 100% you.
Yep.
It's what you want to do. It's what you love to do. Why not?
Yep.
And for me, that was like the stamp seal, all that of approval, because
Right.
it's all me. It's just in different facets of what we love. And my favorite part also is the collaboration piece of it, right? So it's like how this was in the making and it just came back around full circle. So it's like, why not? Like,
really
let's do the
did.
darn thing. So
Yep. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's cool though that you have your own show, talk show, and now you've got this. I think they both will do nothing but enhance each other.
100%.
So I'm very, very excited about
Yeah.
that. And the other thing too is listen, folks, there's a lot of us out here doing things like this that not enough people know about.
Yes.
But I'm telling you right now, I'm not joking when I tell people that I'm building a network.
Yes.
I am dead. Okay, serious about that.
I was like,
Yeah, I was going to say that, but since your mom here, I can't go so far. But no, I'm so serious about that.
Right.
I again, we're talking about. I've been talking about a news division that's going to happen. Actually, somebody called me already from Raleigh,
nice.
inquiring about something else, and I told them what else was going on. They said, "Oh my God, please no, wait, I want to be a part of the news division." I'm like, "Wow,
See
okay."
that?
Yeah. So listen, I think we're really on to something. I think people have been responding to all the other shows.
Yeah.
And the good thing about the other shows too is that it goes from everything from like Brandon, who is a psychologist. That's some deep conversational shit right there. Because
Right.
sometimes I'm like, wait, Brandon, stop.
Pause.
I don't know what you just said. Can you say it in regular people speak?
Regular people.
Yeah, because I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I'm sorry.
Run it back.
Right. And then you have shows like the Deluxe Podcast Show, which is very, very funny. Now your show, I don't know what you're going to bring to the table, but based on what I've seen, it's like, oh, shit, okay, this is great.
Yes. Thank you.
And there's a bunch. Well, again, we have 8 full-blown podcast shows, talk shows, whatever you want to call them. So
That's beautiful.
yeah, I think
That's
it's an
so
amazing
beautiful.
thing. Yeah.
You see why I was excited all day, all week? You see what I'm saying?
I kind of get that. So, any idea what you're going to do with your show?
So with Beautiful People with Ohavia Phillips, honestly, I just want to have amazing people come on and talk about the real, right? Because I know naturally I'm super duper positive, and it's a
Right.
beautiful thing. But it's so funny. I have been asked so many times, does Ohavia ever have a bad day? What does that look like? And so I really feel like why this is a blessing and this opportunity is y'all going to see that side of being able to be like, no, I love being Miss Positive. I love being Little Miss Sunshine. But sometimes people can't catch hands. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. But sometimes you will get this work. You're going to get this work. And so I'm excited to pull beautiful people on to share what they're doing in their industries. So I have a ton of people in mind, and I'm so excited. I don't want to spoil it, but from music all the way to media, fashion, and all that. And they're great people that's going to come on and share with you all like what that looks like. How is it building a brand from the inside out? Some of their hardships, but how they stay beautiful at the end of it. So
I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to share this while I'm thinking about
it's
it.
good.
Yeah. I know my wife would be like, you need to stop doing that.
No.
And my answer is, I will not.
I will not. Well, my mom is here, but I'm always on my phone, right, Mom? Okay, she's nodding, y'all. Literally, she'll be talking to me about something. I'll be like, yeah, no doubt, Mom, no doubt. She'll be like, you see what I'm talking about? I'm like, I'm sorry.
So talk to me, and you did talk to, oh my God, why am I lost for words already?
The Beautiful People portion?
No,
Invited people.
what show were you on already?
Oh, the O Show.
No, on here.
Oh, yes, the conversation
Oh
with
my
Yolanda.
God. She's gonna beat me up, but
No, don't.
So
listen.
you were telling people about basically where you're from, how'd you get here, those kinds of things, but kind of in a short format.
Yes.
How'd you get here?
Absolutely. Okay, so long story short, grew up in Brooklyn. Mom, we all moved here. I'm one of 5. Went to Myers Park High School.
You're the
UNC
oldest?
Charlotte. Oldest of 5.
Yeah.
Oldest of 5. Went to Myers Park High School, UNC Charlotte. Fast forward, got a job at Spectrum News. Was there for 4 years. Loved it.
Oh, it's full. I didn't know it was that long. Oh, wow.
Was there for about 4 years. Loved it. Loved what I did. But then, it just, you start seeing things and you're like, I want to do this my way.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting any younger. And I don't want to regret anything that I'm doing. So literally, and my mom, she's here. She was my shorty. I told her, Mom, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't.
Right.
And she supported me through and through. She said, I believe it. Just pull it off. That's all she said. She said, I believe you can do this, but you're going to have to pull this off because how we doing this? And y'all, no money saved up. I had the nerve to get a new car after a hit and run. And I said, you know what? We out.
Yeah.
We out. Didn't think twice. Had a long list of reasons to be out, but the main reason was I never wanted to look back on my life and be like, oh, I just kind of wasted time hoping it would get better.
Right.
I'd rather create what I want. So I was out.
Wow.
Ain't think twice.
Wow. That is a short version.
Yeah. That's the super duper short version.
But no, that's cool though. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to be in news too, and as a reporter, and I got tired of it after a while. But here's the thing: the difference is, I never went to journalism school.
No, I didn't know that.
No, never did. I used to be the president of the NAACP in Charleston, so I was always on TV for something.
Right.
This is back in the day, and when I was about to retire from the Navy,
Wow.
they started calling me. They said, you want a job in TV? First, I thought the first call was a joke. I'm like, get the heck out of here.
Right. You ain't calling me.
And then the second one, I'm like, well, maybe there's something to this. And that's kind of how I got in. Ain't no kind of, but that's how I got into TV.
Yeah.
But my thing was, I said, listen, I'll do it, but you got to send me to some kind of training.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen at all.
Training.
I mean, let me shadow another reporter.
No.
Didn't happen.
You get thrown in the game.
Exactly.
You do get thrown in the game.
So then I came here to Charlotte, worked for NBC for 2.5 years, I think, something like that. And it was just time for me to go.
Yeah, you feel
because
it.
I'm like, this is not going to be it.
You feel it?
It was, and don't get me wrong, there's a longer version as well.
That's why I was like, we giving the super duper
Right.
version.
Because the other version was pretty explosive.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So we certainly have that in common.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you so much.
Ohavia, it's I kind of looked at your, pedigree quite some time ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, it would be great to have her on in the network.
Wow.
And listen, don't get me wrong, I get a ton of no's from people. Hey, would you like to be nah, I'm good. I'm like, all right, brother, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Would you like to be nah, I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
But but look, everybody who's a part of the network right now, I love the fact that they're here.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
They're a piece of damn work, but I love them.
Well, this is no different over here. I just got lashes. No different.
Oh my God. Okay, there it is. So I know you said you're going to bring on a bunch of different people.
Yes.
But is there any particular road you're going to stay on, you think, or is it just kind of wide open?
Absolutely. So for me, definitely the road I stay on, all things inspirational. So even though we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of people doing what they do in their industries, and I want people to like real talk, straight up share the root of it. There'll always be like a moral of the story or like a snap at the end of it. It's like, well, here's how I stayed beautiful. Or here's how I stayed positive. Even when they played me, here's how I did it. So the road will always be inspirational and bringing that thing back around. But like first you got to hear the story. And there's a lot of people doing a lot of awesome things with a story.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how I met you and that's how we're here. So I definitely want to pull in those beautiful people to share what that is. So yeah.
You know, it's funny because I know for February we're going to be heavy into Black History Month. So, you know, look for people that can tell and let me say this too. I don't want to talk about the traditional stories.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad for everything you've done.
Facts.
But I want to hear more about the other things that have happened that made, you know, Black History Month.
Yeah.
Same thing with Women's History Month. So February, March are going to be heavy months.
Yes.
So just, you know, find some stories.
Yeah.
I know it won't be hard, but find some stories and just have people speak the truth.
Yeah. Because we're big on that. Yeah.
Yep.
So just bringing the energy in that I give out.
You know, I listen, I love this. I think this is absolutely amazing. I don't know what days your shows, we have to work out the days still. Yeah. But it's gonna be really, really amazing.
I'm excited. Steve.
Hey girl.
Hey.
We trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
Where's the other doggone slide?
That's a good picture.
It is a nice photo.
Wow. Ma, you see this? Look.
So, all right, here we are. I just wrote down a few things, one of which we kind of talked about already, but the O Show.
Yes.
What is the O Show about?
Yes. So the O Show is about basically things that I've gone through either during the week or in the day. And I'm laughing because literally I'm thinking of some episodes, but it's things that I went through. And what I do is I just share. So I do it out of my grandma's living room. We sit down and I prop the camera up and I'm like, what's up, beautiful people? So,
but wait, don't you, but you do it out of your mom. I mean, I'm sorry, your grandmother's living room? Is that what you said? But wait. But you have a full-blown show.
Oh, 100% when we go live.
Right. So that's, what is that, once a quarter or something?
Yeah. So at this point, we're just still figuring out the mathematics. But I did one April last year. We just had one. What month was we in? Oh, October.
Okay.
Yep. And like, I'm planning another one for April 2020 because that'll be a year to my very first live show. So it'll have some like anniversary feels and also to me quitting, and it has a lot of meaning. So like, honestly, haven't figured out the mathematics or how often, but we do it live so people could come in and feel the energy, get t-shirts, awesome things like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That is very, very, very cool.
Yep.
We're going to start having, and it's one of the things, you know, I share this with you. Yeah. We do have a board of advisors, by the way.
Oh, we do?
Yes, we do.
Another board.
But they're very good people, man. They keep me on my toes and keep me straight. But we talked about, we're going to start having events next year, but events that are centered around things like, you know, Black folks in technology.
Yeah, see.
Kind of a forum thingy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe Black folks in journalism, whatever it is.
That's beautiful.
Everything that we do is going to be streamed live.
Yeah.
If it's a panel of people, no matter what the heck it is, but we're going to start having these things. So if you can think of something, just let me know.
Of course.
But I'm telling you, man, Square is going to be a real heck of a force to kind of People are going to see it. I'll say that.
Fire.
And want it.
Yes. Yes.
These great shows, your great show, so forth and so on. So I think we're really on to something. And in 2020, I think we're going to do some fantastic things.
You know how I feel, Steve. I don't know why. You know how I came in tonight on 10.
Yeah, you did. You sure did. Why is this damn thing not working? What is wrong with you?
In 110. So I'm excited.
So I will say this. I don't know. I sorry, you're on Yolanda's board, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's how that happened.
Yep.
In terms of you coming here. So I thank you, Yolanda Trotman,
Facts.
for making this happen.
Yes.
Because again, we had a connection back in February, but I love the idea that you came here.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right. That's why I got emotional.
Yeah.
Because it was like, what are the odds?
Yep.
That doesn't happen.
Right.
So.
But this is the entire network right now. That is a phenomenal look for 1 year.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Come on.
There it is, folks.
Talking about?
There it is.
Oh.
But yeah, I think it's wow. I think it's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel blessed.
This is so inspiring.
I feel great about what has taken place over the last year. I really, really do.
Mind you, this is only a year.
Right.
We ain't bragging.
Well,
bragging.
And the funny thing is, like the Deluxe Podcast Show, I think it was December last year. There was, I think WFAE had some podcast contest or something.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, whatever, let me go and enter it. They entered it too. But after like the first week, I figured out, I'm like, I'm going to say it. But if what's her name, Deutsch is watching, I felt like it was somewhat of a scam. But, hey, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm not sorry.
It's okay.
But that's how I got, part of the reason how I got to meet the Deluxe Podcast Show. A friend of theirs introduced me to them, and we made it happen. And, of course, they got their first show. I always wanted to have something that was political and grassroots based. Wanted Phil Fitz
Shout out
said
to
bold.
Luana.
Yeah. Unapologetically Black. That's a great title. And then this lady, Yolanda Trotman.
Sis.
I got to tell the story again about the name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, please do, because y'all,
So-
this original.
So the name, the conversation is a great name for her show. And it fits her to a T because she's talking. She's talking. She does it for a living. She's an attorney. That's what she does.
Right.
But she was dragging her feet. I said, hey.
My favorite part of the story.
Yeah. I said, listen, you got to help me with a name.
Right.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'll think of something.
That's
I'm
how
like,
she sound.
No, how she sounded to me.
Something. Take a something.
Right. I said, listen, you got to help me out with it. So another week passed. I said, okay, fine. Let me send her this.
Y'all get this name, please.
Hit send. And the name of her new show would have been Amalgamation.
Y'all.
She hit me back and said, how in the hell do you even say that?
The amalgamation for the nation, taking over with no hesitation. So, oration.
So, needless to say, she said, I just want to have a conversation with people. I just want to talk. I said, stop. You just said it.
I just want the conversation.
Right.
Sometimes it'd be right there. You know, we just need to talk it out.
Well, she did.
Y'all, that's my favorite story.
After somewhat of a
2019.
threat. Oh, it was a threat. I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
said,
we need to think of something.
Yeah. Here's your name right here. Amalgamation.
For the nation.
Yeah, she'd have to get
No hesitation.
have to get Chuck Dieter to announce her show every single time. So then after that, the slant came up. Brandon was on my show. He and I met through somebody else. I can't think who it was. But Brandon, again, is a psychologist. But let me tell you something. Brandon is a wordsmith. He's he's the kind of guy that if you have a debate class or debate contest, take his ass with you.
See, I did debate, but not that side. He does that side.
Oh no. Oh no. I would not.
Yeah.
No.
Just let him have. Okay, you won. All right, I'm head out.
He's that kind of guy.
Right.
So I'm glad Brandon's on board.
Yes.
The situation with Joel is a former senator.
Yep.
On and on, heavy into the political side. He's on the fence on whether he's a Democrat or not.
All right, I'm head out.
I'm saying it is what it is. But it's a good show. So far, he's the highest. His show has had the highest ratings of like 10,000 views. It's not a billion, but yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
In our media world, 10,000 eyes are a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's go, Joel.
Then, frankly speaking, with Timon was introduced to me through the girls at Deluxe. And Timon is one of those guys. He is, he's a deep thinking brother. But he's on his show. He wants to have somebody that he can be adversarial with.
Yeah.
And so far, he hasn't. No, he's done that once so far. He's had 3 shows, I think. And his last show, I like the lady who was on the show, but she was agreeing with everything he was saying.
Oh, you need some pushback a little bit.
Right. He wants that. He wants that. So we'll keep on working at it. But good guy though. Then we came up with Crafted.
Oh.
Crafted is essentially a black QVC,
Yes.
urban QVC,
Y'all, that
whatever you
set
want.
is so awesome.
Well, thank you.
So awesome.
Thank you. I'm glad you think so.
So awesome.
But it's and some people were actually booked on the show and they backed out after they saw the first and second show.
That excellence.
Yeah.
The standard.
Yeah. I said I take that as a compliment.
Yes, 100%.
So we have another show on the 13th of December. And actually several people are signed up, but
Nice.
yeah, it's a good look. Then Channel 13, of course, is for those people who want a podcast show. They want a home, but they can come here and do that. And plus here, you're going to get a ton of professional help as you're doing it.
Yes.
And then there it is. Beautiful people.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Okay. There
Okay.
It is. I'm not too sure if she's going to be singing on her show. She
We will
just
not
might.
be singing.
I don't know.
promise.
You might.
Never say never, right?
I don't know.
Let me warm up a little bit.
You,
'Cause you and mommy was coming from our runs.
oh well. You, do that one more time. That's not a run. That's
a marathon?
No. That's like you're dragging a dead cat. I'm sorry. Maybe not a dead. Maybe not a dead cat. But you were dragging something.
I was dragging. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll let you have that one. I have to get my throat coat. Too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
all it is.
Yeah, there we go. We're working on that. But anyway, Ohavia.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, Steve, thank you.
You-
And shout out to Yolanda one more time because literally she asked me to do the conversation.
Right.
And I was like, okay. She was like, how soon? I was like, however soon you need me.
Right.
So it just was like everything aligned.
It
and I
did.
could not say no.
It
And
did, yeah.
so thank you. Thank Yolanda. You know, I'm ready to work.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. This is going to be really, really cool.
Oh,
Really amazing. Folks, we're going to go ahead and end it for the night. Already
What?
10:20. But
yeah.
it wasn't long, but we did what we had to do.
yeah.
Are you coming on the 6th?
The holiday party.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up? I don't have anything to do.
No, I mean, yeah, just come on out.
Pull
So
up.
it would be the first time that all of the hosts would get together.
Oh, nice.
So
well,
you-
then,
you
yes.
gotta come out for that.
Yes. Fabulous.
Not that I'm inviting the general public. You can come, but you have to bring your own beverage. So
BYOB.
I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah. Bring your water
Right.
and your hen.
Oh, wait, stop. And your what?
Your hen.
Hen?
Henny.
Okay, henny. I thought you were talking about a for real hen. I'm like, really?
Nah,
You're gonna be slinging necks?
Slinging neck.
Whoa.
Bring your water and your henny.
Okay. All right. We can do that. And then after that, we got one more. But
Right.
the network closes for the season on December the 13th. That's going to be the last show, the last of whatever. But folks, thank you
Yes.
very much. I appreciate you supporting us. I appreciate really, I'm telling you, everything that you've done so far. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for telling people about the network. Listen, and I know that every show is not for everybody.
Right.
That's why we have a multitude of shows.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like something, one of these shows, or maybe a few of those shows. One of the things that I've loved so far is that people have called me from Ohio,
Wow.
Raleigh, Durham, Florida, and Texas.
Wow.
And the one from Texas just said, "Listen, we see you. Just keep on doing it." I'm like, whoa, that's pretty major. I like that.
Yeah. Trying to make me cry. You know,
why are you crying?
Just celebrate. Like I'm an empath. I'm one of those. I just celebrate my people. I'm like,
No, I do appreciate that, though, for real.
Yeah.
Hey, folks. Anyway, we're out of here. We're gonna go. Thank you very much. And we will. What is today? Friday.
Today's Friday.
Yeah, I'll see you. Maybe I may do a Facebook Live over the weekend.
Nice.
I don't know yet, but if not, I'll do it on Monday for sure. Anyway, we are out, and we will see you later.
Hey.
See ya.
See you. Oh, so caught that run. Oh. Yes. I really started tearing up. I was like, oh my gosh. I really did start tearing up. I love when people